Alright, to the back of the old gal. Let's open up the trunk. What we got here is I'm using my stock gas tank, like I said. But what I did is I raised it up about 2.5, almost 3 inches. It is the floor of the trunk, so it does raise the floor of the trunk just a little bit. Got some bumps in there because it is a street car. Still roll around. Cut the top off this because I added a sump to the bottom of it. I just hole sawed so it had plenty of flow. Won't create too much slosh in there. I'm gonna do a couple of baffles in here so I don't get a ton of fuel slosh. I'll just weld all that back together. And then the fuel filler neck, what I'm gonna do with this is, I already notched this out a little bit. I'm gonna run a 90 off of here and probably put run a 90 kind of off to here, hang off the side and put some type of a fuel, kind of a filler over here probably, just so I don't get any type of drainage out the back of the car, because that used to be an issue with this car. Is every time I'd launch it, I'd pour like a half a gallon of fuel on the ground. Or if I just got on it all the way down the road, if fuel was sloshing in the back of the tank, it was coming out the cap. No matter how many times I changed the O-ring or how tight I put it or whatever, it just always dumped fuel out. So, got that. Let's go to the sump. The sump is underneath here. Brighten that up a little bit. Nothing fancy, just hangs just barely underneath just barely under there, hangs out. And then my fuel pump and setup. Those are two Bosch 044s, and those are just two eBay 30 micron stainless filters. A little manifold, 1-inch block, split monos. You can see the slider over there. I'm probably gonna add another block to this, but I still got the 8-inch under this little gal. It has a lot of work done to it, so it's not a stock 8-inch, but that'll be coming out for the 8.8 setup when I do the rear Fox suspension on here, which is coming pretty soon. So that's pretty much what my fuel system and stuff's gonna be. Nothing too fancy. If you come over here on the bench, here's my carburetor. It's already set up for E85 alcohol, M1, whatever. Here's my boost reference regulator. All this stuff is budget. I bought this used, got this for trade labor, got this for trade for labor. I bought this from a local speed shop that they didn't even know they had, and it was all dusty and old. So I probably have about, let's see here, I don't even have $500 into this whole. No, I do. Let's see if I say maybe $650 into this whole setup right here. And that's pretty much it. But we got the car. Just out getting some sun, just barely. Got these put in there the other day. As you can see, I cut the actual rail back. If you see how fat it is right here compared to right here, I did trim the rail back. See, there's no top control arm. That's the big thing. A lot of people say, oh, you still have a shock tower. Well, what the fuck goes up here? Nothing. Your engine's all right here. All the header clearance, all the clearance you need is all in this area down in here. That's where you need it. And that's where you can cut it away. Look how narrow this is now. The shock tower doesn't even extrude to where the frame would be. If you could cut this and follow the line of the strut, you can cut that all the way like this, and you can have massive amounts of room in here. So that's why this is superior to a Mustang 2. Plus the Mustang 2 front end sits flat, and it hits bumps like you're driving off curbs. But that's the old rod. 17 by 4.5 RC comps up front. eBay rotors. I think they're $80. S197. A lot of guys ask me, why do I have to run a misalignment? the bump steer kit is because I run the 95 spindle. The 95 spindle has this upsweep to it. This upsweep is only on like the 94, 95s. So if you get like the 96, 7, 8, 9, 2000, 2004 spindle, this ear comes out straight, so you don't have to run all these washers right here. So that's one of the reasons why I say run a 96 spindle. But other than that, you just got to run the misalignment spacers. It's no big deal. No top control arm, all struts. Even got a power rack in this thing, running manual style. Nothing fancy, but it works.